What if everything you thought you knew about Meghan Markle, her fairy tale romance, her sudden royal stardom, her carefully crafted image, was nothing more than a well-oiled illusion? What if behind the glossy magazine covers and orchestrated interviews, there was a shadowy history she never wanted you to find out? And what if that secret past just collided with a man who's arguably one of the most powerful and most feared figures in the world, the Saudi crown prince? That's right. According to chilling insider claims and freshly leaked travel documents, the future Duchess of Sussex may have once had late-night yacht meetings with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Meetings described by those involved as strategic, private, and above all, paid. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. And Prince Harry? He had no idea until now. Let that sink in. Now ask yourself, what would make a global royal figure, known for strict privacy, suddenly let slip a line so damning it sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles? She did whatever I wanted, he reportedly told a room of close allies behind palace doors. Was it arrogance? Or revenge? Because what followed that statement wasn't silence. It was a storm, a digital trail, a series of desperate cover-ups, and a reckoning. So how did it all begin? Let's rewind. Meghan Markle's story has always been a little too perfect, hasn't it? The underdog actress who climbed from cable television to royal palaces, loved by a prince, praised by the press, at least at first. But behind every Cinderella tale lies a trail of broken slippers. And if the whispers are true, one of those slippers may have been left on the deck of a luxury Saudi yacht. Now, we're not here to speculate. We're here to investigate. Let's look at the pattern. Years before Harry entered the picture, Meghan had already cultivated a deep, strategic presence in elite circles, from Soho House gatherings to private island retreats. She wasn't just networking. She was curating. Everything about her image, her presence, her connections, it was tailored, polished, intentional. But here's where it gets darker. Sometime in late 2015 or early 2016, depending on which source you believe, Meghan was allegedly invited to a high-tier private yacht retreat hosted by international elites off the Red Sea coast. One of those elites? Mohammed bin Salman himself, then not yet crown prince, but already wielding unimaginable power behind the scenes. You know how it goes. No cameras, no press, just champagne, closed doors, and contracts that never made it to paper. And according to one crew member who later broke their silence, Meghan wasn't just there. She was invited personally. Now let's pause. You might be thinking, plenty of actresses get invited to yacht events. What's the big deal? But this wasn't Cannes. This wasn't some influencer mixer-off Ibiza. This was a politically sensitive, ultra-secure gathering, and everyone on board was handpicked. No one stumbled onto that yacht. You were selected. And those selected, according to multiple insiders, were expected to offer more than just polite conversation. So what does that mean for the woman who went on to marry into the British royal family? That's the million-dollar question. Because if this connection was real, and the prince's alleged remarks were true, it opens a Pandora's box of geopolitical optics, royal betrayal, and hidden pasts. Let's not forget, Saudi Arabia has been at the center of global scrutiny for its control of press, treatment of women, and secretive diplomacy. For a senior royal figure like Meghan Markle to have had private dealings with the crown prince, especially paid ones, isn't just tabloid fodder. It's a scandal with international consequences. But it gets even more tangled. You see, the crown prince isn't just another rich man with a yacht. He's the architect of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, a man obsessed with global influence, image control, and, according to insiders, using celebrities to advance soft diplomacy. In this game, actresses aren't guests. They're assets. Which begs the question, was Meghan Markle merely a guest? Or was she something more? Because sources claim she didn't just attend once. She returned, multiple times. And each time, she stayed longer. Each time, she grew more comfortable. And each time, the demands became clearer. One source, an ex-diplomatic aide now living in exile, alleges that during one of these private nights, the crown prince and Meghan struck a mutual arrangement. She would entertain his guests, appear in PR-friendly campaigns, and in return, she'd receive something priceless: access, connections, security, and yes, money. We'll get to the exact numbers in the chapters to come. Let's just say they would make your jaw drop. But what about Harry? Where was he in all this? Here's where the plot thickens. According to digital timestamps, yacht records, and leaked security footage, many of these interactions took place during the exact same time frame Meghan was supposedly single and looking. Looking for what? For love? Or for leverage? It's no secret that Meghan Markle was deeply strategic about her relationships. From Hollywood producers to Canadian billionaires, she always seemed to position herself near power. But what if the man who fell hardest, Prince Harry, was also the most blind? He gave up his family. He gave up his country. He gave up his military titles, his uniform, his identity. All for her. But now, insiders claim, he's discovering another side of Meghan. And it's not the side shown in Netflix docuseries or Oprah interviews. It's the side shown in recovered yacht manifests, in encrypted messages, in surveillance stills once thought destroyed, and most damning of all, in the quiet, offhand remarks of a Saudi prince. She did whatever I wanted. Those 6 words were never meant to be public. They weren't recorded in a press release. They weren't whispered in some salacious memoir. They were said in confidence, to trusted allies, in a private room far away from Buckingham Palace. But they leaked. And when they did, the damage was irreversible. Because they confirmed what many suspected and what Harry feared. That the woman he married might not be who she says she is. So why is all of this coming out now? Why is the Crown Prince, who famously doesn't talk, suddenly ready to spill? Insiders suggest it's retaliation. A warning shot. Because Meghan may have promised more than she delivered. Because she may have used her access, her charm, her favors to climb, then burn the ladder behind her. And in this world, you don't burn ladders. You fall off them. Which brings us to the real turning point. Because just when this storm seemed to pass, just when Harry and Meghan were rebuilding their image, pursuing causes, writing children's books, and lifestyle blogs, one unexpected guest came knocking. Not a reporter, not a royal, but a man carrying a box. Inside, 3 photos, 2 letters, and a memory card labeled simply, Red Sea. And when Harry opened that box, he reportedly locked himself in his study. For hours, he emerged with shaking hands, a drained face, and one question for his wife. A question she never thought he'd ask. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming. What was inside that box? 3 photos, 2 letters, a memory card labeled Red Sea. Simple objects. Silent, even. But to Prince Harry, they were thunderclaps. Because the moment he saw those images he was never supposed to see, something broke in him. But we're not there yet. To understand the depth of this betrayal, we have to go back to where the whispers began. Have you ever heard the phrase yacht girl? It's the kind of term that floats around in elite circles. Never printed, never confirmed, but always understood. It refers to a woman who isn't just beautiful or ambitious, but one who uses both, strategically, often in high-powered luxury circles, to gain access to the inaccessible. And for years, Meghan Markle's name was softly, almost reverently, spoken in those same conversations. In VIP lounges. In marble-tiled corridors of hotel penthouses. On whisper networks where money and reputation move faster than truth. But where did the story really begin? It didn't start when Meghan met Harry. It didn't even start in Toronto during her Suits days. It began somewhere far from cameras and talk shows. Somewhere sun-soaked and shimmering. It began on a yacht. Let's set the scene. The year was 2015. Meghan Markle wasn't yet a duchess, wasn't even a household name. But she was climbing, carefully, strategically. She'd already started building connections with fashion houses, political players, and influential billionaires. Often through Soho House. Often through mutual sponsors. You know the kind of sponsors I'm talking about. The ones who don't just buy you dinner, but buy you a seat at a much bigger table. And in the summer of that year, according to sources now coming forward, Meghan was offered something that would change the course of her entire life. An invitation. Not to an award show. Not to a party. To a yacht. But not just any yacht. This one was anchored off the coast of the Red Sea. Owned by a Saudi billionaire closely linked to the royal family. And, as confirmed by 2 former crew members, it was preparing for a very exclusive international guest experience. A phrase that, in certain circles, has a darker meaning. So how did Meghan Markle, a relatively unknown actress at the time, land a spot on that manifest? That's the question, isn't it? Some say it was a stylist connection. Others claim a Canadian tycoon vouched for her. One leaked email even suggests her appearance was sponsored, though no one dares confirm what that means. Here's what we do know. By late August 2015, Meghan's schedule mysteriously cleared up. No public events, no media appearances, no traceable Instagram posts, which, if you know Meghan, is already a red flag. Then came the photo. It wasn't much. Blurry. Shot from a distance. A woman who looked like Meghan, wearing oversized sunglasses and a silk wrap, stepping from a private tender onto a gleaming superyacht deck. The image surfaced on a short-lived foreign gossip site. No caption, no story, just the title. The actress who knows how to sail. Within 12 hours, it was gone. Scrubbed. DMCA takedown. But not before someone saved it. You know what's fascinating? For years, that photo sat in silence. It circulated among a few select circles. A Hollywood producer, a European royal aide, a disillusioned PR exec. Each one passed it along like a whispered secret. Is this her? No way. She's with Harry now. Still, that jawline is hard to miss. And the rumors didn't stop there. Another former crew member recently gave a private testimony. No cameras, no transcript, just a recorded audio snippet leaked through encrypted forums. In it, she describes an American actress with dimples and a royal air who attended several trips aboard elite yachts between 2014 and 2016. According to her, this actress didn't just mingle, she performed. She charmed older guests. She knew when to laugh, when to disappear, and when to reappear, dressed to silence a room. She says the guests were powerful, Middle Eastern, European, one or two recognizable from Forbes lists, and one she was told never to name. Let's pause here for a second. Ask yourself, why would someone in Meghan's position, already climbing in Hollywood, risk being seen in such a controversial setting? Unless it wasn't seen as a risk. Unless it was seen as a step. Because the reality is, in elite circles, yachts are more than floating palaces. They're stages, power incubators, places where deals are made, images are crafted, and destinies. Yes, even royal ones are decided. And Meghan? She knew exactly how to work a room. Several sources, including one former stylist, say she was deeply aware of the power of image. How to dress, how to speak, how to listen, especially when powerful men talk. But here's the twist. Not long after those yacht rumors began surfacing, Meghan's life changed dramatically. She returned to Canada. Quiet, focused, started dating a certain British royal. Coincidence? Or was something bigger at play? Because in elite circles, introductions don't just happen. They're orchestrated. And according to a bombshell source, an ex-Soho House employee, Meghan's introduction to Prince Harry wasn't spontaneous. It wasn't a chance meeting over drinks. It was planned. Strategically. Carefully. With intent. The employee claims there were whispers even back then. That Meghan had a pre-royal phase, carefully edited from her public profile. One that included not just yachts, but retreats, gatherings, diplomatic mingling. But why scrub it? Why hide it? Unless it led to something you didn't want public? Because if Meghan's yacht connections included a young crown prince, one who would soon rise to become one of the most controversial and powerful figures in the Middle East, it raises serious questions. Not just about judgment, but about loyalty, transparency, and above all, trust. You can imagine how Harry might feel hearing all this. The woman he defended against the press, against his own family, against the world. Suddenly, a past he was told didn't exist is leaking out like oil on water. The more you try to clean it, the more it stains. And here's the emotional punch. Harry chose her, chose to believe in her, chose to abandon centuries of royal tradition for a woman he believed was misunderstood. But what if he was the one being misled? What if Meghan's silence wasn't about privacy, but preservation? Preserving a past that, if ever confirmed, would shatter the very brand they built together. Because their narrative hinges on her being the victim. But what if, in this story, the real victim was sitting across from a box? 3 photos, 2 letters, 1 memory card, and the look on his face when he saw them. A source close to the palace said this. I've never seen Harry look like that. It was like the moment he realized the fairy tale might have been written by someone else. But what did those photos actually show? And what was on that memory card? We're not there yet. Because just as Harry began to connect the dots, the man at the center of it all, the one person who could confirm everything, was about to speak. And what he said would ignite a scandal that would make royal history tremble. But what came next would change everything, and no one saw it coming.